To do Patthar Ke Phool was a decision taken in the college canteen. I dress up anyway nearly every day when I'm working, so I've got the mask on. And Salman said, I'm not going to work with her again, I'm not going to work. And then he did Andaz Apna Apna. That, oh my God, they've got Raveena in a film, this film is jinxed. In fact, I know so many heroes, even till date, who can't remember their lines and they have it written on these little boards all around while they're doing a scene.
Oh, really?
Some superstars who probably still do that.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Heart with Bolly Girl. Hi, my name is Shiksha Maitani, aka Bolly Girl, and I'll be your host today on behalf of Pink Villa USA. Now today I am so excited to introduce to you our guest. She is a Bollywood actress and a producer who started off her career in the early 90s, giving us hit after hit, giving us songs like Tu Cheez Bari Hai and Tip Tip Barsa Pani. Not to mention, she is an incredibly influential and inspiring woman who has had to endure quite a lot while living under the spotlight. Today, you and I get to sit with her and talk to her one-on-one about her journey. Please join me in welcoming Raveena Tandon. Hi, Raveena, how are you?
Hi, Shiksha. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you for being with us here today. How are you liking being in LA?
LA is kind of second home for me. I come once a year at least to the US. Every summer we are here, June, July. So we do a bit of the East Coast, we do a bit of the West Coast, and LA is home. Like I said, I enjoy being here. So that's
like a second home for you.
Like a second home.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do when you come here every year?
Honestly, so every time I'm here, there's something new that has opened up which we have to try. And then yes, the usual, going out shopping with the kids, and taking them someplace or the other, which is now it's Halloween now. We're in the Halloween season, so my daughter's enjoying the Halloween bit.
Oh, really? So does she like haunted houses or dressing up? What does she like?
Oh, she loves on haunted house. In fact, my nephew was asking me, like, what have you been feeding her? She's like, she wants people going chasing in a haunted house with an axe, with a hatchet behind her. What's with her?
Oh, God.
So she likes these. I can't even watch like the tiniest level of horror movies. I can't even micro I can't.
Will you be dressing up with her?
No.
Not your thing.
I dress up anyway nearly every day when I'm working, so I've got the mask on. So there are a few days when I just want to chill, do nothing.
That is, on Halloween you are just Raveena.
I'm scary enough myself.
No, you're not.
I don't need to dress up. I'll go as myself. Look, guys, I'm scary. Yeah.
I love it. Now let's start off by talking about the beginning of your career. Can you take us back to the early 90s when you started acting? Did you always want to act in movies?
I'm in this industry by default. I've been saying this since my 1990 interviews. If you go to any of my old, really retro interviews, I say I'm in this industry by default. Even though my dad was in the movies, he was a producer director, and but I never grew up with the thing that I'm going to grow up and become an actor or anything. Maximum, if I did, I would have gone into production with him, or gone into direction. And with that intention, I joined Prahlad Kakkar. In fact, my dad didn't launch me at all. I assisted him when I was in the 8th standard because I was, kind of wanting to learn the ropes. But I assisted Prahlad Kakkar instead. I joined his advertising agency. I was an intern there. That was straight after my 10th. My 10th boards, and then you have that long break before you join college, like nearly 3.5 months. In that, I started regularly working, and even when my colleges opened, when my first year, I started my first year, even then I used to go do my morning college. It was 7 to 12, and after 12 I used to be working with Prahlad.
Wow.
I did nearly a year with him of training, and in that interim, I started getting offered a lot of ads. So people would see me in the studios and stuff, and it was like, you're not meant for behind the camera. You're meant for, in front of the camera. I was like, listen, I've not even asked my parents yet, and I'm not sure. I used to actually ask the filmmakers, are you sure you want to sign me? I've not gone to any acting school. I've not done anything.
Yeah.
And they said, nahi, wo hum karwa lenge. Then eventually I signed Sippy Saab's film, which was Patthar Ke Phool with Salman. To do Patthar Ke Phool was a decision taken in the college canteen. Okay?
That's so crazy.
I said, okay, fine. They said, see, you have nothing to lose. Yeah, and after that, you give up. No, you don't want to work. You don't work if you find it tedious.
How was Salman Khan as your first co-star? What was he like?
We were like two kids in a class who would just want to fight over everything. You know how the kids are, they want to fight over the eraser, want to fight over the pencil, want to fight about a pencil box.
Just bickering.
Yeah. We
That's you.
I was 16 and a half, okay?
Wow.
And Salman also must have been what? I don't know how old, it must be 23 or 24, I think, at that time. So both of us were brats. Like Salman and me, almost like as if we brought up in the same house. Salim uncle and my dad used to work together, right? Earlier. So our families knew each other. So we were like as if we are continuing the fights from home. We fought.
All the time.
Throughout the film. And Salman said, I'm not going to work with her again. I'm not going to work. And then we did Andaz Apna Apna together.
Of course.
Then we did another film together again. And then then it's okay.
So what was it like when you were breaking into the industry? It wasn't something you necessarily wanted to do. And then, you know, with Bollywood comes parties and networking and things like that. So,
you know, even though I come from a film family, as in my dad was in the movies, but we were not really a, so to speak, cliched what people project to be a film family or a filmy family. I just signed movies, and I think whatever I worked or I did, I think it was, I can say it was with my own merit, you know.
Yeah.
It was never compromising on anything, including the principles and the lines that I had drawn for myself, that I will do this, I will not do this, I will do this, and I will not do this. And I'm very clear about that. And you still want to sign me, sign me.
I mean, it sounds like it was still very difficult to kind of do that without the kind of mentorship necessarily that would come with that.
I did make a lot of mistakes in that because I didn't have the right guidance, because
Yeah.
even though dad was very much always with me, but he never interfered in my work. He always let my manager handle the work, because you know, and even when people used to tell my dad, oh, why didn't you launch her? And I used to tell them, even if my dad would have wanted to launch me, I don't think I would have preferred that or would have done that.
But that's so admirable, because that's a much tougher road to go on.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, you were able to give us hit after hit after hit. I mean, damn. How did you go about choosing the roles that you chose?
So it wasn't always like that.
No?
No. So initially, in fact, I did face a time where after Patthar Ke Phool, there were 4 or 5 of my films that did not do well, and they were major they were mega star cast kind of a setting, you know, of those films. And unfortunately, those didn't do well. And I do remember that there was almost a time where a couple of magazines even called me a jinx. That, oh my God, they've got Raveena in a film, this film is jinxed. And I remember then came along Dilwale, and immediately after Dilwale was Mohra. Sonam, I remember we had the success party of Mohra, and in front of the whole media just stood up, and you know, as soon as I walked in on stage, and she said, here comes our lucky mascot. And then after that, it was such a reversal. Those same media that were almost writing, you know, oh, she's the jinx, suddenly started writing, oh, Raveena's the lucky mascot. Whatever film she's in is it works, just works. So, you know, sometimes you just face these things and you're like, arey wah, okay.
Well, can you talk to us a little bit about your process from, you know, choosing that role and then preparing for the role, memorizing the lines? What is that like for you?
So in the 90s, it was not that we were ever given a bound script before.
Okay.
In fact, we would reach the sets and they say, हाँ वो scene लिख रहे हैं अभी.
Oh, wow.
So even if it was a 5-pager, you got it immediately and you had like about an hour just to come and start performing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So sometimes I do feel that general public, just because a woman is beautiful or, you know, is good looking, they generally have this perception that, oh, she might not be so intelligent after all. I think that is stereotyping actresses a little too much. And I think that all cannot be done if you're not, you know, all focused or not all there and trying to work hard for what you're doing. So I find that strange, in fact. In fact, I know so many heroes, even till date, who can't remember their lines, and they have it written on these little boards all around while they're doing a scene.
Oh, really?
Some superstars who probably still do that.
Wow.
And that then, you know, say that why are we women always spoken about when, you know, the men are doing probably worse things. So
I love that you're saying this. Like, let's shine some light on that, because people need to know.
Exactly. Whether it's America, the American industry, the British industry, or the Indian industry, I think men are doing equal amount of stuff to themselves themselves than whether it's cosmetic or it is anything, but it's always only the women who are spoken
Yeah.
about. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Why?
No, no.
That's not fair.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's getting better or worse with time?
I think it is getting better.
Okay, that's good to
It is
know.
definitely getting better. In fact, in the 90s, honestly, we used to have a lot of women editors also who would love running down women because they were in love with the heroes or they were flirting with the heroes. So it was such an unfair world because you'd see women do that to women.
Yeah. That's
so
the worst.
It was, I can name them, and now they, on Twitter or something, on social media, they pretend to be such, liberated women, but I think they forget their time in the 90s when they were busy running down other women and calling them, horrible names when all they were doing is trying to make a living.
I was gonna ask you your thoughts on social media. Do
Yeah.
you like it or hate it? Because
So it is a bane and a boon.
yeah,
Boon in a way, like I said, you are there, it's an instant reach out to, there are no middlemen, there's an instant reach out to your people who follow you,
Yeah.
your friends, your fans, your well-wishers, and you have a voice, you can say your side of the story. There's so many times when in all our 90s stars have faced it, that fans used to come and meet us, interact with us and say, oh my god, you're not at all like how the magazines write about you, they sell on us.
yeah,
What can you do?
yeah.
So these are the things, yes, you do go through, but I think now times are much better because even now, if you have a strong legal team and even if it goes viral on the internet, there are ways of pulling it down, there are ways of putting out your side of the story.
How do you deal with trolls and online bullying and things like that? I know that with the more that social media grows, just everybody is dealing with this now, right? You have trolls and people bullying you online. That's a real problem.
So I do believe that social media is a bit of an addiction. You need to learn to tell your children to balance everything out and not be addicted to it 24/7, and that is not your life.
Yes.
What you see on Instagram, people, is not real.
No,
Okay.
it's really not. Yeah.
Please let me tell you, we all Photoshop our pictures. We all edit. I have a plump nose. Sometimes you won't see my plump nose, but that's me. This is real. So believe in yourself. Be yourself. You are beautiful. Do not try to be someone else because you don't know what is real and what is not.
Taking it back to filming your movies, I have to know, when you get ready for a Bollywood song, do you practice those expressions in the mirror? How do you get ready? Because Bollywood, a lot of it has to do with expressions.
No, so there are rehearsals that do happen.
Okay.
I remember when Sarojji was alive, she used to hold rehearsals at Satyam Hall. So from 5 days before the day of the shoot or 4 days before the shoot, she used to practice with us, and the hall would have mirrors and, she would rehearse. Her dancers would make us rehearse. So yes, it is rehearsed.
Let's start talking about your co-stars in Bollywood. Who would you say has been your favorite person to work with so far?
I think all my heroes. I love Salman, I love Sanju, I love Sunil, I love Jagu. I really
You love
like
all of them?
I've had a great time shooting with all of them. A lot of them are my buddies, Chichi, everyone.
Okay.
And whenever we all meet, even now, we meet so warmly. And it's so much fun to catch up and, do things together
Yes.
even now, yeah.
And you actually posted recently that you might have something coming with Govinda, who we all know you and Govinda are a magic duo. Is there anything more you can tell us about
No.
that? No. In regards to your career in Bollywood, you've had a few times where you've had to take a step back and take a break for personal reasons. And I'm just curious to know, what was that process like? How difficult was it to make the decision to take a step back when you're giving hit after hit?
So, sometimes I do, when I think back, I do think that, maybe because I got my career so easily in life, I just told you how I started.
Right.
But I don't think I took it that seriously.
Okay.
And it was always never my be all end all, right? So I was like, okay, when I settle down, I'm going to give it up for a while, focus on my family life, and then see if I want to work again.
Okay.
But then when I did eventually give it up for personal reasons, and when I had to restart all over again,
Yes.
that I consider as my struggle period, because I left at my peak, right? And then I had to start off again with just doing item songs.
Yeah.
So there was Sher Ki Ladki, and there was another song, and I forget now, but I did, those 5 scenes songs kind of films, trying to get back to that till the time I got to do a satta again, or I got to do a shul again, and I got to
Yeah.
and I regained my footing back into the industry, and thankfully so. I don't think I've slipped since then.
So now that I know that you've been coming to LA every year,
Oh God, I'm caught. I'll have to do this with you every year.
absolutely.
I'm
you're
actually
stuck.
enjoying myself.
Oh,
so
yay.
You better call me then every year.
Okay, done.
Okay?
100%.
Done?
You're stuck
every
with
year
me now.
new update.
Is there any chance you'll be working in Hollywood?
Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I've got a couple of offers even now.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it up again because it required 3 months of being in Hong Kong at a stretch.
Oof,
and then
okay.
14 days quarantine before 14 days. So nearly 4 months
Yeah.
getting away, leaving my kids and family, and that was not okay for me. But yeah, soon enough, maybe.
Now, before we end, I do want to do a quick rapid fire round with you.
Go for it, girl.
All right. So just remember the quickest thing that comes to your mind.
Done.
No thoughts involved.
Done.
All right. So something we wouldn't normally know about you.
But obviously, it's something that not known. I don't want it to be known, right?
No, but
Okay, I used to bite my nails.
done. That counts. That's fair. Your favorite movie of all the ones you've made?
There are a lot of them. It has to be Satta, Andaz Apna Apna, Matra now recently, that's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Something which is very close to my heart. Yeah.
Okay, great. If there was a fire and you could only save one thing, what would it be?
A blanket, my dog. Okay, you said one thing.
Yeah, one
A
thing.
blanket so that I'd make it wet. Okay, and then I'd make it wet and then I
Okay.
could run into the fire and save my dog.
What's the one song from your movies that you find yourself humming to the most often?
It has to be Is Tarah Aashiki Ka Asar Chhod Jaunga from.
Favorite Bollywood movie actor song?
So I think Ranveer Singh has great energy.
Yes.
Alia Bhatt is really good. Deepika is stunning. You wanted one, right? But it's
Yeah,
okay.
just one. Okay, and a movie?
A movie I think will have to be my dad's, which is Khel Khel Mein.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And then lastly, if Bollywood were to remake any one of your movies, which one would you like them to do and how would you cast it?
You know, I think Shul, because it is still so relevant in a lot of places. And, okay, tough question. And Andaz Apna Apna, people have been saying it'll be a remake since ever.
Yeah.
But I think once a classic is made, it's made. You can't
Yeah.
really remake them. So
But that's where the world is headed now with
I don't think
remakes.
so. I think sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't. So I think the world needs to get a little more original.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank
It's
you.
been great talking to you.
Seriously, yes, it was fun.